What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 13th day of September, and here we are sitting at about $3.15, just below there. Up 9.3% this week. We got about 1 day and 9 hours left in the week as it stands. If we're looking at this, I want to come back out and look at the weekly time frame because I think we have a lot to talk about as far as what's coming next, right? The upside is going to be miraculous. It's absolutely going to be miraculous. There's people who are calling for $6, $8 price for XRP by the end of the year. I think they're all crazy. I think we're not going to see anything less than $11, if not likely $13 or more by the end of the year. We'll be at $6 to $8 by the end of October, if not higher, if not dramatically higher. It's very possible. I'm starting to come around to the idea that $13 to $16 target area is going to be reserved for end of year pricing. But we got a lot of growth to go. I don't think a lot of people see the point of why we're going to go there. I want to get into that later, but let's talk about the short-term stuff real quick, okay? And then we'll get back into that. The more longer-term stuff, end of year, end of cycle stuff. 1 hour time frame here. If we're looking at this, you do have a bit of a double top on the 1 hour RSI. A little bit of bearish divergence on the stochastics. You're bouncing off the 50 though, and the MACD is just right now crossing red. Okay, we've just started a new 1 hour time frame. It's very possible that we do go lower, but I don't know. That's kind of a nice look right there. You already wicked down below where this divergence started, where your double high was. I don't double top, sorry, on the RSI. Divergence on the stochastics. I don't think we need to go lower. In fact, I think if we were to go lower, the last hour would have been that hour to go lower. So I think we're going to be moving higher. Even though we've crossed red here on the MACD, sometimes we cross red and then we come right back up. It's only red if we close here or lower on the MACD. If we can come up and close green a little bit, this will shift into that green perspective again. Overall bullish. Overall very bullish. If we are going lower, the area that I think we could expect to see would be somewhere around about like $3, $3.07. We're at $3.15 now, so nothing too dramatic, nothing crazy. I doubt that we go lower from here though, right? We've actually just broken out of this overall consolidation phase over the last 24 hours. I think this is a back test of that prior resistance point. We can look at it here, right? Prior resistance here. We back tested that exact line for support. We're coming up for a bullish finish on this 4 hour time frame. I think things are looking really good, you guys. I think we're going to see some upside over the weekend here. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, the RSI is overbought, the stochastics are overbought, and the MACD is postured well. They all agree that we're moving up higher, right? Some people might hear overbought on two indicators. Doesn't that mean we're going to go down? No, typically whenever you're overbought, that actually means you're growing. You're in the midst of a growth kind of phase. So I think that we're going to continue to grow. Oh, sorry. Did I mess up anything? Is the microphone still working? Okay, cool. I think that we're still geared up to see some higher prices over the weekend, right? That's all I'm trying to say. The 4 hour time frame here, getting overbought like this is actually a really good thing. That's where you show strength, and that typically is where you see your phenomenal growth phases. We'll see. 55 minutes left in this 4 hour time frame. If we close it red, we come out of it. That's okay. We can move down for a little bit. We can move down today, but I would expect that between today and the end of tomorrow, Sunday, the end of this week, I think that we are at higher prices. Again, if we go lower, the intended area might be like $3.03, $3.07, maybe $3 itself, something like that. We could see prices below $3 even. I'm not worried about it, but I really don't think that we're going to go that low. If we're looking at this on a daily time frame, we are hitting the overbought zone now on the daily time frame. Now I think this is kind of important. I think that today closing here is fine. Closing higher is fine as well. Getting into the overbought zone would be preferred. What would not be preferred is that today closes here and then tomorrow is red. We don't want to reject the overbought zone, okay? Stochastics are overbought. The MACD is about to cross above the zero. You got a lot of good things going for you, okay? You just need to keep going. You need to keep going. Don't stop here, essentially, is what I'm saying, all right? If we're looking at this from an overall high from back in July, the high in July, to the low here, the expectation that I would have, at least in my mind, would I take that low? Should I take that low or this low? I keep going back and forth on which low to take. I think I should take this low, just because that's a fake out low. Whatever, I want to try and be accurate with these price predictions. So if anything, this will be more conservative, or will it be less conservative? Actually, it'll be less conservative. Let's go for the more conservative approach. Screw it. We'll go for this one. Golden ratio, which would be at $3.26 to $3.33. That's the intended target area. That's where I believe we're going to go, okay? So something in that zone there. And then maybe we consolidate back, find support back in this area, and then we continue to rally. I really wouldn't be surprised at all if we kept pushing higher and higher day after day until the 16th, 17th of September, where the FOMC meeting is, and then we shake out, we find some resistance going into that next week. We will begin to rally. Going into the end of the month, we should be either at new all-time highs or very near our all-time highs. And October should be a very, very explosive month. I think once we get above about $3.35, that's whenever the pace is really going to start to pick up. And XRP, when it moves, it only moves at one pace, man. That's a very, very fast pace. If we're looking at this here, again, all these indicators are bullish as hell. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens whenever the MACD crosses above the zero, because typically whenever you cross above the zero like that, it really implies very bullish things to come, okay? Looking at the weekly time frame now, talking about the exciting stuff, okay? Because again, I think it's very obvious what's going on here whenever you look at the weekly time frame. We've got a lot of momentum stored up inside of us right now, man. Not just from this consolidation phase from July, but from this consolidation phase from December, right? We've been consolidating for a very long time. You're in that all aboard, last call kind of moment before the train leaves the station. Weekly RSI bouncing off the 50, stochastics bouncing off the 50. The MACD kissed. We touched tips, and then we came back up. We're building bullish momentum now. It's a really bullish thing, you guys. It tends to promote a lot of growth, okay? Come on now. What's going on? There we go. Okay. The reason why I think we're going to $13 or more, I mean, I could go into plenty of reasons as to why. We've done the in-depth analysis comparing XRP to BTC and just like doing the math on what makes sense based out of those charts and what the price of Bitcoin is going to be. I don't want to do that here. It's going to take too much time, and I want to wrap this up. But I think the best way to make sense out of it might be to use logic, or what I believe to be logic at least. We take the high from January of 2018, we connect the dots, and maybe shave it down towards the line of best fit here. Take the low from back here. Again, we shave it, find the line of best fit, something like that. We're in a multi-cycle consolidation phase, right? Bear market 1, bull market 1. Bear market 2, really the beginning of the bull market here. We're in a multi-cycle consolidation phase inside this range, okay? Your breakout move in correspondence to that range was rather phenomenal, okay? But I doubt that it stops here. A lot of people are going to tell you, well, XRP is at higher market caps now. This kind of behavior is a thing of the past. It's not going to happen again because, you know, you're at higher market caps. It's going to be harder to move the price. And that's true. It is true that it's going to be harder to move the price because you are at higher market caps. But to say that this kind of behavior is a thing of the past, I think that's something that people who've been investing in XRP for a long time have been saying, and they've been wrong every single time, right? Oh, you're not going to get a move like this again. Oh, okay, it happened again, but you're not going to get a move like this again. Oh, okay, there it is. But that's the last time it'll do that. Boom. Boom, right? It's the last time. Every single time it's the last time. That's what they said, right? And I would know. I was here back whenever XRP was like first created. If we're looking at this, you can see that you had a very massive consolidation phase here. Very, very similar. And I'm not using the straight lines, I'm just drawing it, but very similar to this phase. What did we do? Well, when we broke out, we moved up, and then we had a little triangle right here, right? We broke out, we moved up, and we got a little triangle right here, okay? And overall, I would say that this little bubble here is part of this overall consolidation phase, but it's uncanny how similar these phases are. And what did we see afterwards, right? What did we see? We saw a move that was very, very akin to what we saw back here. Now, this was like a 700% move in a 1 month time frame. I don't know if XRP is going to do that. Maybe. You know, but that puts it like $24 or more. I don't think that we're going to see that. But I'm just saying, and again, these were at lower market cap prices, but whenever you broke out to new all-time highs, right? Here you stopped, right here, right at your all-time high area, you stopped. Once you actually broke out, you had fantastic growth. And then this growth happened at a fantastic pace because, again, you were breaking out to new all-time highs. When we start to move up, you guys, when we're at the levels of $5, $6, $7, whatever, We're at new all-time highs that we really haven't seen for a long time in XRP's existence. Yes, we've seen new all-time highs already this cycle, but I'm talking about an actual breakout. This was a fake out in all fairness. It was a fake out. We're just consolidating around there, which is fine. That's fine. XRP is also deflationary, so I wonder if the market cap here is actually at a new all-time high or not. I should look at that chart. I want to pull it up, but I don't know. Is it gonna be glitchy? My computer has an attitude. Let's just see. Looks like it's gonna be glitchy. We'll see if it'll pull up. Pull up for us XRP market cap, because I know it's deflationary, but the rate of deflation is just so insignificant. It might not. It might still have a higher market cap, just like this had a new all-time high. But I am curious. We're not going to wait for it, okay? We're just going to keep moving on. All I'm trying to say is that while, yes, this will be a higher market cap, I think that we're going to have an easier time moving up because there's nothing holding us back. There's no price action, no prior resistance points. We're in price discovery, all while being a United States crypto reserve asset, right? And probably not just for the United States, but for, and not even probably, definitely, because it's not just the United States, but there are institutional players that are making their own kind of XRP strategies, like MicroStrategy's doing with Bitcoin. There are probably going to be other nation states that invest in XRP as well, that follow suit in what the United States is doing. And if not nation states, then companies across the world, right, who are probably acquiring some XRP. My thoughts would be that everybody's aware of the fact that XRP is going to continue to grow, right? They're uncertain of it now, but once it's at new all-time highs, the FOMO is really going to set in, and I don't think we're stopping at anything less than $13.56. Why do I think that? Because $8.37, that's the first target area, right? You spent all this time consolidating to hit your first target and stop there and that's it? I don't think so. I think you're going to 1356 or higher, right? And again, this is just kind of applied logic, as I want to call it, right? Does that mean that it's accurate? Does it mean that it's sound? Maybe, maybe not, right? Let's see. Let's go back to 20. Okay, so yeah, you are at new all-time highs. Oh, wow, the market cap's a lot higher. So the supply has been diluted a little bit. Okay. What is XRP's supply? For some reason, I thought that it was fully diluted, but I guess not. Must not be. Oh, wow, yeah, circulating supply. It's not. It's actually like over half of it. Wow, it goes to show how much I know. So there's still new supply being allocated in here and there, probably for strategic partnerships, reserves, whatever. I don't know. You look at this. Circulating supply is 59 billion, total supply is 100 billion essentially. So it is deflationary. That much is true, but for the time being, it is inflationary. Okay, so I'm sure the diehard XRP people knew. They're like, dude, it's going to be at a higher market cap. Okay, yeah, cool. It is at a higher market cap, $188 billion right now. I very much believe that XRP will see a multi-trillion-dollar market cap by the end of the cycle. I think that we're going to be at dramatically higher prices, but again, just kind of outlining the rationality, at least in my opinion, as to why we would not stop at anything really less than $11.50. You know, this $13.56 area stands out. If we take the last cycle high to the bear market low, $10.71 right there at the 1886. I think that 1150 or 1130, whatever it is, it comes from when we did the math, whenever we did the XRP to BTC charts, and then we compared it to what the price of Bitcoin would be. So if nobody's seen those videos, that's not going to make a whole lot of sense. But just trust when I tell you that really the only sensible areas that we made sense out of for XRP to go to would be about $11.30 or higher, right? Something around there to $17. But I don't want to get into that now. Maybe in another video soon enough. I know people appreciate it whenever I do that stuff, but I don't have time today. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I very much do expect that XRP is going to see some dramatic increase in a very short amount of time. We should be at prices that are around $13 or more, if not by the end of October. Yes, it could be as early as the end of October. If not then by the end of this year. And again, comparing XRP now to what it did back here, where we had this triangle, we broke out, we consolidated, we broke out more. Triangle, we broke out, we consolidated, we broke out more. Comparing it to what we did back here, you know, in this consolidation phase, you came down, and on your monthly RSI, where did you find support? I don't know why that happened. You found support right here. Exactly where you found support this time as well, right? That's That's there we go. That's where we found support before, and we're back in the overbought zone now. Once we got into the overbought zone here, we literally rocket shipped 746% to the upside in 1 month. I don't think we're going to do that here, but I think that we are going to see some spectacular growth between now and the end of the month, and now and the end of October as well. I really got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.